Recognize our nominee, Senator Brooke Rollins, to introduce some of her guests before I administer the oath, and she gives her opening statement.
Good morning, everyone. What a joy to be here, and wow, a little surreal and slightly overwhelming. The two gentlemen that were sitting up here, whom I've known, as they mentioned, for a long time. So I want to thank them. A few guests, and I appreciate Senator Boozman the opportunity to introduce them. My awesome mom right here, whose new issue that all of you know, the oldest freshman legislator in Texas history, Helen Kerwin, raised my sisters and me by herself in that small town, and PFAS is her big issue. So I know a lot of you are certainly concerned with that. My incredible husband, Mark Rollins, we met the first week of our freshman year at Texas A&M, Senator Tuberville, in 1990, 35 years ago, and our four incredible children, Luke, Jake, Anna, and Lily, are here with me. Luke is the oldest. Luke, raise your hand. Listen to your mother. Very good. He is a sophomore at Texas A&M University in the Corps of Cadets, and in fact, left College Station at 1:30 last night, 1:30 a.m. to drive all night, catch a flight in Dallas, and be here this morning. So especially grateful to him and my other incredible children. Even though they're all teenagers, Luke's 20, it has been the joy and most important part of my life being their mom. So what a joy to have them. My sister, Ann Blunser, my sister, Helen Hubert, Eliza, my niece, they're all here. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Tim and Elizabeth Yagi. My incredible ag teacher, who I would like to stand up. This is Mr. Gary Rosenbush, who put up with a lot from this FFA'er. I've often said that the Future Farmers of America changed my life and put me on a course that, frankly, leads me to today. So Mr. Rosenbush was a big part of that. I also want to recognize, a lot of people know that I take great pride in my short, but I think very successful life as a little league softball coach. So my daughter Lily was the catcher on the team, but most of the rest of the team also flew in last night. The hot tamales, everyone, from Texas are here. Thank you guys for being here. My 1990-1991 state FFA officer team from all parts of Texas. There were 10 of us. The other 9 all came. Ag teachers, insurance agents, workers of the land. They're all here. And so what a joy to have my state FFA officer team here as well. If y'all want to stand. What an incredible inspiration. I know, Senator, I could go on and on. I promise I'm going to cut this short, but one other person, Pastor Jensen Franklin of Georgia, who has been such an inspiration to me, flew all the way in from Free Chapel in Georgia to pray with my family and I this morning. So, Pastor Franklin, I want to thank you as well. One of the great pastors of our time. Pastor, thank you. I have so many Texas friends, other family that are here, but I'll wrap it there and just say what an incredible honor to have all of them behind me today.
No, that's great. That's wonderful. Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the statement that you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Do you agree that if confirmed, you will respond to requests to appear and testify before any duly constituted committee of the Senate?
I do.
Again, congratulations on your nomination. You can have a seat, and you're recognized for 5 minutes to give your opening statement.
Thank you. Chairman Boozman, Ranking Member Klobuchar, and distinguished members of this committee. First, my thanks to President Donald Trump for his faith in me to lead the United States Department of Agriculture. His confidence fuels my determination to deliver. I also want to thank my dear friends and fellow Texans, Senator John Cornyn and Senator Ted Cruz, so graciously introducing me to this committee. I also obviously want to extend my sincere thanks to all of you, the United States Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry, for your careful consideration of my nomination, and understand, and perhaps most importantly, I want to thank and so overwhelmed at the honor to potentially serve the men and women who daily, without pause or complaint, provide our great nation and the world with the best food, fiber, and fuel. Throughout the past several weeks, I have met or spoken with every Republican and Democrat senator on this committee, and I appreciate your insights, your concerns, and your very wise counsel. It is clear we all agree that farmers and ranchers are the cornerstone of our nation's communities, and I commit to you today that if confirmed, I will do everything in my ability to make sure our farmers, ranchers, and rural communities thrive. I also want to thank the many senators and representatives on Capitol Hill with whom I've had the incredible opportunity to work with these last 2 decades during my career in public policy. In my time first with Governor Rick Perry, then leading the Texas Public Policy Foundation, in my various roles in the Trump administration, the first one, and since 2021 in my role founding and leading the America First Policy Institute. Each of you cares deeply about the American people whom we all serve, and I promise my work will reflect that commitment. Growing up in the small ag town of Glen Rose, Texas, y'all have heard this, population then 1,200 people is where my story begins. Then my world revolved around the future farmers of America, 4-H, and the endless cycle of baling hay, livestock shows, and rodeos that still today constitute the calendar of our small corner of Texas. That experience sent me to Texas A&M on an agriculture scholarship where I studied and majored in ag leadership and development, then on to the University of Texas Law School where I graduated with honors and performed a federal judicial clerkship. And then, of course, to helm the policy shop of Texas Governor Rick Perry. It was there that I had my first direct leadership role in big state ag policy. I had been in office serving Governor Rick Perry for 2+ years when I received a call. A small think tank of 2 or 3 staffers in San Antonio asked if I would be interested in being their new leader. And I answered that call as well, thinking as that my husband and I built our family, that would be helpful and a good potential opportunity to be a great mom, but also continue the fight for Texas. At TPPF, over the next 15 years, we fundamentally redefined the mission of a think tank from just having ideas or writing about them in white papers to actually effectually changing policy for the people of our state. We engaged strongly during those 15 years with Texas rural and small town communities, giving them a voice in government that was too often denied. In short, we changed the game in Texas. Changing the game is exactly why I accepted the invitation to join President Trump's first administration at the beginning of 2018. Everything that we had sought to do in Texas those last decades to make policy for real change, for real Texans, was being done in the first Trump administration, and I was so honored and excited to be part of it. I joined first the White House Office of American Innovation as its leader. I then soon became the assistant to the president in addition on strategic initiatives, and eventually added the role of the director of the Domestic Policy Council. In January 2021, exactly 4 years ago, we understood that President Trump's second term agenda would be delayed, so I had the privilege and the idea of establishing yet another institution of policy leadership, and the America First Policy Institute was born. I currently serve as the president and CEO there. Thanks to President Trump and to all of you, I hope to have the opportunity to bring that level of passion and commitment to the USDA. I need not tell you, of all people, that this is surpassingly important, because agriculture is surpassingly important to us as a nation. All Americans are important, but the farmer, the worker of the land who feeds all the others, is amongst the most notable. Thomas Jefferson wrote that agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will, I don't want to get Thomas Jefferson's quote wrong. Can't misquote Thomas Jefferson, because it will, in the end, contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness. And his wisdom holds true today. I fully recognize that if I am confirmed, I am stepping into the role during one of the most economically challenging times in American agriculture history. With that in mind, I want to share with you as I close my top priorities for day one and then perhaps a longer-term priority. First, we must ensure that the disaster and economic assistance authorized by Congress is deployed as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Second, we must work with the great men and women of USDA, the stakeholder communities, and state leaders, my deep background in state policy, to immediately and comprehensively get a handle on the state of animal disease outbreaks. Third, we must immediately begin to modernize, realign, rethink the United States Department of Agriculture, responding to the clear needs and the desires of the American people as set forth so well by the President of the United States over this last historic week. And finally, and longer term, we understand that serving all American agriculture and all the American people means ensuring that our rural communities are equipped and supported to prosper not just today, but tomorrow and the day after that and the many tomorrows to come. This includes exploring improvements to our rural development programs, demanding strong and steady domestic and export markets for our beautiful agriculture bounty, eliminating burdensome and costly regulations that hamper innovation, ensuring our nutrition programs are effective and efficient, and putting in the work to make sure we have a healthy and prepared next generation of farmers, ranchers, entrepreneurs, innovators, and indeed all Americans. This is what we need for the next century of American greatness. These are just four of my top priorities. Beyond these, I am dedicated and committed to providing all of you with the timely technical assistance that we will need to ensure that we have a farm bill that moves forward. My aim, after all, is the same as yours, the same that brought you to the Senate, the same that brought Donald J. Trump to the presidency again, and that is to serve the people in this great country. Thank you, Senator, and thank you, Ranking Member.